الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا وسيئات أعمالنا من يهد الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له ونشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. أما بعد, the question came up which you asked. Why does Allah allow all the pain and suffering in the world that we see now? One thing, Allah told us that if we obey His commands to follow what He has sent down, we won't have all of these problems. But Allah says that when we turn our backs on Him, He leads us to go astray. He leads us to do what we want. But if we obey Him, we wouldn't be in the predicament that we're in now. We see a lot of killing, beating in the United States as well as around the world. You have a growing thing now where it's saying that they're murdering black people. The police are murdering black people. They've been doing that for centuries. Since slavery, they've been murdering us for ages and ages. What's happening today is no different than what's been going on over the years. And it's just getting worse because we're no longer unified. We're no longer unified as a race of people. We're no longer unified as a community of Muslims. We're moving further and further away from the ways that Allah has sent down. And we shouldn't wonder why we're, in these predicaments, because we create these predicaments. If we were to follow what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, to obey His command, we wouldn't have all of these murders going on. Years ago when I was younger, if the police moved against a Muslim, the whole Muslim population would come down on them. And they knew that. So they kept their distance and respected the Muslims as well as the people, because even when they went against the people and abused the people, the Muslims stepped in and said, no, you can't do this. This isn't right. And they weren't afraid to put their boot up somebody, some cop, every day. Today, we are so divided that when we bring all of these things on ourselves, and then the police come, we sit back and we laugh. Oh, look at him. Oh, look at her. Oh, they whipped her butt. They whipped his butt. And things like this. Years ago, we didn't do that. When I was young, we didn't do that. It wasn't all that great because we had moved away from unification a great deal back when I was young, but it wasn't even half as bad as it is now. Today, we call the police on each other, and when the police show up and they start stomping our butts into the ground, half of us don't care. Half of us enjoy it. But you can see by the laughter, we laugh at each other until it happens to us. We're in the predicament that we're in because we created this predicament. We aren't following what Allah says and standing unified and not doing these haram things, these forbidden things. And when we put ourselves out there and bring about a certain situation, then we want to cry when somebody comes, when these cops come and kick our butts for no reason at all. You may say that, well, so-and-so didn't do nothing, the cop just shot him. But look at the overall environment that we created. We created an environment that tells the police and everybody else in the world that you can come into my community and do whatever you want to us. We're not going to bust a cap. We're not going to blow any hot air or anything else. We stand around and just let you do it. Back in the day, if a cop ran up on a brother or a sister and shot him, the moment that bullet left the barrel, before it hit the person, that cop would have about 50 guns trained on him from the community. And that cop will be in trouble. They knew that then. So they didn't do, they did a lot, but they didn't do as much as they're doing today. And then you have black cops helping these white cops kill us, thinking that, oh, I gotta get up here and do the right thing for Massa. Massa don't care nothing about you. Massa do the same thing to you that he's doing to everybody else. Look at these here white people. They go out there and they carry guns and shoot other people, black people and everything else, and then the cops come, and what do the cops do? Sir, please calm down. What's wrong, sir? Did that dear black woman jump in front of your gun? Did she try to smack you in the chest with smack your gun with her chest? This is how it is today. Then if a black man, he doesn't even have to have a gun. Matter of fact, a black woman doesn't even have to have a gun. All they gotta do is, what? Boom, 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 boom. Shoot them down. You talking about what? That was threatening. Yo, what? So the white man, white woman could do all of that there and some of them don't even go to jail. We created this situation. When we see other black people getting abused by the police and anybody else, we sit back and don't say a word. We let it happen. Yeah, there's a few that may speak out, but there's no unification. And then on top of that, we're about hip-hop nonsense. We should be about worshiping the law, doing what the law says, going to the mosque, praying, and helping each other out, when we're down. Now, this here isn't confined to just black people. It covers the Muslim community as well. The Muslim community they busted. It's busted. We're not doing what we're supposed to do. I remember years ago when, matter of fact, it's close to the end of the 70s, the beginning of the 80s, the Muslims, if somebody tried to rob somebody in the community, whether it was Muslim or not Muslim, Muslims converged on that person. What are you doing? They will whoop his butt. I remember a time when somebody snatched a pocketbook of a Jewish woman, and he took off after them. Person got so scared he jumped inside of the police car. He flagged the police car down and he jumped inside the police car, wanted them to take him to jail. But he didn't realize the Muslims was getting ready to do this by snatching the pocketbook in that area. We got into the police car and whipped his behind. So don't you ever come in this here neighborhood and snatch anybody's pocket. Today, the guy walks down the street and snatches a pocketbook in somebody's community and runs away, and the community chases him. They're probably chasing him to get up here to get some of that money out of the pocketbook. That's how the mindset of the people of today are. Instead of trying to help each other, if you see uh, a woman and her children on the street and they're hungry, they don't have any place to live, they're sleeping on the street, you laugh at them. You should try to help them find a place to get them off of the street. Because if you don't help them, then they're going to turn to the next thing in order to survive. If the woman might turn to start prostituting, or she might, wait on the alley, and when you walk by, hit you upside the head with a pipe and take your money so she can feed herself and her kids. We create these here situations, and we need to change those situations. When we don't follow what the law says, and we start doing things like the kufa, when Allah tells us, do not be like them, do not follow them in their ways, don't even dress like them. And we turn around and we start getting these here haircuts with all these here names and funny things on our heads, and we start doing the same thing the kufa does, then, we're going to end up the same way they did. The Allah tells us in the Quran, He says, look at those who came before you and see what their end was. He's telling you this here so that you can see that if you do this or you do that, and you continue to do these things, you're going to end up the same way that they ever did. And how did they end up? Allah is telling us, do the right thing as a Muslim. Get up, make your salat. But when you make your salat, it causes you to go into a certain state of mind. It brings peace and tranquility upon you. And you try to give more love than anything else. You want to love others. You want to do for others. You want to help others. You want to teach others how to worship Allah. But if you start abandoning your salat and shaving off your beard, especially that shaving off your beard, and especially these black females running around with blonde hair. How many black females was born with blonde hair? If you're not an albino, you're not going to be born with blonde hair. And some of them are Muslim. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that the woman shouldn't wear wigs. That's haram, not to wear those wigs, because it's a lie. It's telling a lie. You wearing these here wigs and fooling the man into thinking, well, you got long hair, you think long hair is all this and all that. And Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, it's Sahih Muslim, said, you can't wear those wigs. Now, if he's telling you that you can't wear wigs, what do you think he would say if he sees you with blonde hair? You're a black person with blonde hair, and you running around and telling people or trying to convince people that you was born with blonde hair. That's a lie. You should stop it.